Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hidden Brick, where today we're doing part 3 of the build of the Lego Technic Porsche 911 GT3 RS 4.0. So this is how far we made it in the first two. We have our transmission built, we have our drive selector built. That's about it. There's the beginning of the drive train, but what we're going to start building now is the gear shifter box thing. Yes, that's the official name for it. Gear shifter box thing. So we're gonna zoom in just a bit because it's gonna be a small little piece that we're gonna build. Mostly contained within the footprint of this little box frame. We have axle joiner, goes right in the middle, just like that. Remember, anything that turns, I always like to turn it once it is snapped or pushed together, just to make sure that we have good range of movement. Typically you'll see me turning stuff quite a bit. I'm not playing with it, not yet. It's just part of Technic building. There's a lot of moving parts, and if something stops moving, then it's better to know it now before it's too late. Because if you get 30 steps deep and then realize that something doesn't work right, then that's a lot of time to take stuff apart. So this too long little axle joiner is made of rubber, so you can see it's squishy. It moves pretty easily. We're going to insert it right there, and it lines up with this other pinhole that we're going to insert this axle with a stop all the way through the bottom. So it kind of creates this connection point that has a little bit of flexibility. It's not quite as rigid as Technic pins holding something together. The purpose of that is if you have something moving that you want to have a little bit of play or be able to spring back to the original position, these things help out a lot in that type of construction. Alright, so these two slide down. have these one long Technic lift arms. It is basically just a cylinder. Put these on this 3 long friction pin. What it does is kind of create it's kind of like doing the same thing as a bushing that you put on an axle, but it's a bushing for a Technic pin. So, kind of an interesting little part. And I've seen them use it a lot in not only Technic sets since they've come out with it, but also in Lego system sets. So it's a very versatile piece, being used a lot. Long axle with a stop. Oops. So that axle goes all the way through this knuckle gear. And then there's a little bit of it still hanging out the bottom. And we're going to attach one more knuckle gear to it. Put that down. So we're building quite a few different little modules that we're going to probably attach everything to once they're all built. So this one is slightly different. We're using different color, little thin left arms, and then they're also flipped upside down, different direction. Last one of those. So you got 5 long. Alright, so we take this element, put these two together, slide that in between them, and this should slide all the way in there. Our last 2 knuckle gears. folds around like that. Slide another axle through, bushing on the bottom. Kind of interesting. Look at kind of what it does. Alright, so bring this over, slide this down, should attach just like that. Now we have two of these little gear selector pieces. Oops, I put these on the wrong one. This particular piece has an axle hole and a pin hole. This piece has an axle and a pin. Instructions actually showed the pin side going in the pin hole. And see, I put it the opposite way. I put the axle in the axle hole. So switch that around. And the reason we need to switch it around is because we need to put these two half bushings on an axle. You can't do that if you've already used the axle. Easy enough fix. And these two axle hole pieces. It's kind of a weird construction. We're not done yet though. So let's keep on moving on. Alright, next up, another one of these frame elements. And it's a little tricky getting a pin inside of these. So this is the half Technic pin, half axle or pinhole perpendicular connector piece. Got a couple of the toe ball pieces. We have this non-friction axle with a pin. It's actually the only one that came in box 1. You can see when I put it in there that spins pretty freely. It's interesting that that's the only ones, or the only one in the part selection. A lot of times when you build a set, they have multiples used in a set, it's rare that there's just one element that's just used once, especially something so common. This black bevel gear. One friction pin. Four 3 long friction pins. Okay, once again, turning it just to make sure everything still turns easily. There we go. There is an error in the instructions as I'm looking at it. They have it shown. Let's see, turn it this way. Okay. Yeah, there's an error. So this 3 long. Well, no, actually it's not an error. The way the perspective they're showing, you just can't see it. It looks like a little pen with an axle on it. Just a bad perspective. Alright, turn this back around like this. Bring this guy over. This all should line up. Okay, so I think this is the steering column. Seems to be binding when I turn it this way, but this way it seems to be okay. Alright, good enough. Pieces goes right there. Step along. Here's our steering wheel, like I suspected. So what goes there? We have a sticker number 9, which is the Porsche logo. Goes right in the middle of this 1x1. Somehow I was able to get that on there. There we go. Alright, so we have 4 of these white rubber bands, and each one goes on a little groove inside of these thin, or I guess half bushings. So you can see that kind of creates this element that you have to pull. That's your paddle shifters. Interesting. Everything seems to be moving okay. Alright, so let's bring over our chassis, and where this little piece is sticking out here, we need to slide that in like that. And then bring it around, and it should. There's some Technic pins on the bottom here. All of those should insert into the framework. Looks like we're good there. You can see as I'm shifting it, how everything's kind of moving. All right. So we have this 2x4 black tile that can get one of 2 stickers. You can either get the GT RS little home screen, or you can get a racetrack map. It says put either one on. I'm going to put the racetrack map on. And they don't give you another 2x4 tile, so the sticker is going to be left over. So what I'm going to probably do is use one of the extra extra tiles that I have in my spare parts collection to sticker it up, switch it out whenever I want.
Alright, so the next major part that we need to build is the looks like the front suspension. So we're gonna begin it in this video. We probably won't finish it. Actually, I know we won't finish it in this video, but that'll kind of give you a teaser for the next video, right? I messed this one up. This should have. There we go. That looks better. These are the little suspension arms that will hold the axles. So that gets slid all the way through. This one gets slid all the way through, and you have to make sure that this little toe ball receptacle piece is facing up, or else you'll have issues when it comes time to attach those pieces. A couple half bushings. And this attaches right here. Alright, so this is a new part. Kind of looking at the instructions, they're showing that you have to install it or build it with this portion at
kind of at the top. We're going to put a couple toe ball pieces in these pinholes, and then attach one of the wheel rotors. And then that toe ball piece connects in there to the other side. Attach the wheel rotor. Alright, so we have red extra stiff shock absorbers. And this is the first time that they've come out with them in the red color. We've had these before in the, I believe, the yellow and the dark bluish gray colors. Alright, so we're going to build two of these. Slide this over that element and push it in. Do the same over here. Turn this around. Slide on there. And these both attach there. These are going to stabilize the suspension arms. And then give us somewhere to attach the springs to.
4 half bushings. This one slides through. It's actually sliding through the pinhole of that shock absorber. So that's going to lock that shock absorber in place. I guess they do that for both sides. And they show a diagram of that as well. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do for now, put this axle, we gotta rotate it around. Put this axle in there, and there you go. So we're gonna stop this video right here. We've got this is going to be the front suspension. It may end up going right there. But you'll have to see in the fourth part. So thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.